way up through your legs to your hips and your seat. Nice, grounded, not leaning to one side or the other. And the spine is tall as your shoulders are relaxed. And then allow yourself to take some deep breaths, creating that space, expansion through your torso. So imagine that you could become more flexible from the inside out. Not only stronger from the inside out, but also flexible. So opening up through the belly and the rib cage and the lungs and the diaphragm. And then allowing for that contraction as you exhale slowly. Take 2 or 3 more breaths, and you can sigh it out too. And also bringing in an intention for your class, a word or phrase that represents what is most important to you or what you want to focus on today. Say your intention, your heart's deepest desire. Say that to yourself 3 or 4 times as you breathe. Make sure your shoulders remain relaxed. Good. And then bringing your hands to your knees. Make sure you're not seated right up to the back of the chair. So maybe scooch forward a little bit, hands on your knees. And we'll start with cat and cow. So rounding your spine, tipping your hips back, chin to chest. And you can say meow, meow. Inhale, lifting up to cow, pulling your elbows and shoulders back, opening through your heart center. And let's do our howling coyote. Ow! Good. Exhale, rounding your spine, chin to chest, tipping your hips back. Meow. Inhale, lifting up, howling coyote, elbows back. Ow! One more time, rounding into cat. Meow. Keeping those vocal cords working. Inhale, lifting up to howling coyote. Ow! Really enunciating each time we do those verbalizations. And then stay seated nice and tall with a long spine back to neutral. Inhale, reaching your arms up, looking up towards your hands. Exhale, floating your arms down. Look down, feeling a stretch through the back of your neck. Inhale, arms up, looking up. Exhale, arms down, looking down. Relaxing your shoulders. One more time. Inhale, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, reaching down, looking down. Sit up nice and tall and start to take some shoulder circles. And this can start out slow. You could lift your elbows or straight arms. The other option is bringing your fingers to your shoulders and keep your elbows rotating back. Keep breathing. And bring your arms down to your sides. Wiggle your fingers, shake your arms. And then we'll go forward. So bringing the shoulders up and forward. Again, maybe with bent elbows or straight crawl strokes or fingers to your shoulders. Lots of different options. They all feel slightly different. Good, and then bring your arms down by your sides. Again, wiggling your fingers, shaking your hands. Bring your fingertips up to your shoulders. Your Your fingers may or may not touch your shoulders, but try to get as close as you can. And then we're gonna bring our elbows up and out to the sides. And then bring your elbows forward and try to touch them in front of you. And then opening up wide. Bring them forward and open. Touch your elbows together, or at least kind of pulling them together. You might need to use some muscles to do that. My arms are shaking actually as I do this. And then opening up wide. Good. Release those arms out and down. Nice. Let's take a round or two of Robin's breath. So bringing your hands to heart center. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhaling, diving forward. Rounding your spine. Inhale, open your arms wide. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, hands to heart center. Say your intention to yourself while we take a little pause. And another inhale. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, opening up wide. And you can go with your pace, with your breath. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, hands to heart center. Say your intention to yourself again. You can even say it out loud and get those lips moving. And we'll do it one more time. So big inhale. Exhale, diving forward, rounding your spine. Inhale, open up wide. Exhale, diving forward. And hands to heart center. Nice. Release your arms by your sides, and then we're going to take some swinging arm motions. Reaching long in both directions. If you want to, you could do those alternating heel lifts at kind of a walking pace and reach, reach. Or you could even think of grabbing and pulling back each time. And let's keep this moving, but cross the body. So bring your arm across the front of your body each time. You can bend your elbow. Feel a little twisting motion through your torso as well. Good. Nice. Bring your arms down by your sides and inhale, reaching them up. Exhale, open up to one side for a spinal twist, bringing your front hand to your opposite knee, and your back hand can rest on your chair or down beside you. Sitting up nice and tall, looking further back, or at least reaching back with your eyes. Notice how far back you can go today. Open your eyes wide, look around, and blink. Turn just your head to look forward as far as you can over your opposite shoulder. Again, looking even further with your eyes. Turn your head to look back. Inhale as you release and come back to center. Arms reach up. Exhale, opening up to the other side. Front hand comes to your opposite knee, back hand down by your side or over your chair. Take a moment to feel into the stretch before you go further. And maybe you can turn your head to look back further, or at least reach with your eyes as far back as you can. Notice if you can look further back on this side or the other side. Turn just your head to look forward over the other shoulder, feeling that neck stretch. And look even further with your eyes out of the corner of your eye. And look all the way around, as long as that doesn't make you dizzy. Turn your head to look back again. Take another deep breath. Slowly releasing, coming to center. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Good. Cactus, your arms, lifting your heart center, shining it forward. Bring your hands to heart center and clasp your hands. Press your hands down and stretching out your fingers and forearms. Bring your hands back to heart center, clasping your hands, and see if there's another angle that you could reach forward or up higher. Stretching. And bring your hands back to your heart. Our hands are clasped still, and we'll do our little steeple with our fingers. So bringing your thumbs up to meet each other, and then your index fingers. Next are the middle fingers, and then try to get those ring fingers isolated up there, and then your pinkies. Pressing your fingers, the pads of your fingers together. Separate your palms and keep pressing those fingers. And then bring your palms back together slowly and smoothly. We'll do this again, separating your hands, your palms out, but keeping your fingers connected. Bring your palms together, strengthening the hands and pressing them away. Bring your palms back together and then press into one hand, so you're kind of bending back at your wrist, and press into the other hand, and back, and forth. One more time. Good, so we're bending our palms back, but now bring your palm forward. So you're just gonna bring it forward and see if you'd like to give it a little light pressing motion. Nothing really hard and forcing it, but just a little light bend, and then bring your other hand in and a little press to your wrist. Good. Bring your hands down, shake them out. Let's go for a walk, warming up. I'm cold today. I don't know about all of you, but I can start to get some blood flowing and speeding things up a bit. So taking any amount of stepping motion through your feet, swinging those arms. You can really reach those arms up each time. And then let's take some wider steps, crossing your arms across the midline of your body. And then bringing your feet closer together and further out, and closer together and further out. Closer together, further out, back together, and then maybe take a little running motion, or it could be a tap, tap, tap through your feet, and you can get your arms going faster. Good. Slowing it down, and take a breath or two. If you'd like to get a drink, feel free to do that. I think I will. So let's, so have your blocks handy, but let's do the ball first. So bringing one foot onto the ball again, and or if it's some other object that you found, you can kind of roll your foot on the ball, just feeling, noticing how it feels to you. So depending on the surface of your ball, it's going to feel different. Mine has some little bumps on it, so it's nice both pressing my foot into the ball, but also the feedback of those little bumps feels good. And then see if you could bring your knee out to the side. Roll the side of your foot on the ball, the outside edge of your foot. And then maybe roll the inside edge. That's a little bit harder. Kind of pull your heel out to the side. And then if you can, just get your toes on the ball and maybe kind of squeeze the ball with your toes. Good. And then let's go over to the other side, other foot. Rolling your foot back and forth on the ball several times. And if this feels good to you, keep your ball handy, and throughout the day, do this a few times. See if this is something that you enjoy. There's so many pressure points on our feet that this is very, very beneficial. And then bring your knee out to the side and see if you could roll the ball on the side of your foot, the outside of your foot. And then bring the ball kind of out to the side a little bit and see if you could pull your heel back and roll your foot on the inside edge of or roll the ball on the inside edge of your foot. Good. Bring it back to center. We're going to do that little kind of kicking game back and forth with yourself. So one foot is one team and the other foot is the other team. If the ball rolls away, just let it go. It's more important to stay safe in your seat than to jump up after it. This is also working into the hip flexors. Woo. All right, and then go ahead and set the ball off to the side. Bring your blocks down in front, and we'll do a little bit more work through the feet and toes. Start by bringing your toes over the edge of the blocks and squeezing your toes into the edge of the blocks. Remember, this is just, like 30%, 30 to 50%. We're not trying to break any toes here. You can also squeeze your knees with your fingers. Taking a breath or two and then opening those toes wide and spreading your fingers wide. And slowly lay them down. Remember, visualization works to do this as well. So let's try that again. Squeezing the ends of your blocks with your toes. Squeezing your knees with your fingers. And then inhale as you open your toes and your fingers. Spread them out. Maybe wiggle them a little bit. And then lay them down and relax. Let's do that one more time. Squeezing the ends of the blocks and your knees. Notice if there's one toe or two in particular that you want to kind of focus into as you squeeze. And then slowly release and open them up as smoothly as possible. Spread them wide and lay them down. Release tension. Just take a breath and then move your feet onto the balls of your feet onto the blocks with your heels hanging over the edges for our heel lifts. Let's do a few alternating heel lifts first. And then bring both heels up, pressing your hands on your knees as you slowly and smoothly lower your heels down, maybe past the ends of the blocks to find a stretch. And then release tension. Let's try that again, lifting your heels up. Make sure all of your toes are grounded, that you're not just on your big toes. And then pressing your knees down smoothly. You can even look down at your feet and notice what you see. Press your heels all the way down. And release tension. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed while you're doing this. And one more time, lifting those heels up, holding it for 3 seconds, and slowly pressing them down. If you hit a bumpy spot, go back up and redo it. Lowering smoothly. Press your heels down, see if you can feel a stretch, and then release tension. Good. Go ahead and set the blocks aside. I think I'll be done with those for today. Bring your hands to your inner knees and just kind of press your knees out to the side. So this is going to be a similar movement, but we're working into the hip area. So you're going to press your hands into your knees and you're going to try to close your knees and notice if that is bumpy or smooth, and then just relax after you do that. So press into your knees again and then slowly, smoothly bring your knees together, pressing together when you get there, and then just release tension. Okay, so we're working on the inner thigh muscles and up into our groin. Let's do that one more time. So pressing your knees away, then resist against yourself as you bring your knees in slowly and smoothly. Squeeze them together and then release tension and just kind of let your legs flop out. Okay, so that's one way to work on the inner thigh muscles, and then the other way to work on the outer thigh muscles is the opposite. And so bringing your hands to the outsides of your knees, and then, so starting with your knees fairly close together, they don't have to touch, and then pressing your knees out, again, just noticing if that feels smooth. When you get out pretty far, then you just slowly release and relax. So I know sometimes we've got shakiness going up in our hips, so this is one way to work into that. Let's do it 2 more times. Hands on the outsides of your knees. Knees are close together, maybe touching, and then you resist against yourself as you press your knees away. And this doesn't, you don't have to be super strong to do this resistance, and then release tension. So this can be whatever your level of strength is. Think 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10, that level of resistance. So it's not an exercise in building strength, it's an exercise in releasing tension. So one more time, hands on the outsides of your knees as you resist and pull your knees out, and then release and relax. Good. All right, so sit back in your chair, extend one leg out, and you can support your leg as you do this and bend your leg several times. I'm thinking about a way to do this with a strap. You could also have a strap under your foot if a knee or a leg didn't want to do this on its own. And you could use the strap to kind of lift your leg up and lower it. So that would be another way to modify. And then hold your leg out or place it on a block and point and flex your foot. So we'll demonstrate here on, and whenever I do this on the block, it's okay, the block moves with my heel, and that's fine. And then take some ankle circles. So again, your foot could be on a block, or you could be holding your own, with your own strength, holding your leg up. And then reverse the ankle circles in the other direction. And place your foot down. Let's go over to the other side, extending and bending several times. Holding your foot out or placing it on a block as you point and flex. And then take some ankle circles. And the other direction. Good. Good. Place your foot down. Come over to the other leg and bring your knee in and out, kind of testing out your hip joint and hip muscles. And if that's feeling good, then support your leg. You could even kind of lean back into your chair, picking your leg up and making small circles or bigger ones as it feels good. Reversing direction, exploring as far as you can in your pain-free range of motion. Place your foot down and then pick your knee up, either behind your knee or in front and hugging it in. Cross your ankle over your knee. And it's our massage time. So take that time to work into your foot, ankle, and your shin and calf. Perhaps leaning further forward, and maybe your chin comes down to your chest. Forward fold. You could also place a bolster or pillow underneath to support you. Take some deep breaths to help you release tension. And on an inhale, we'll rise up through your deep core engagement, sitting up tall. Set your leg down and bring your other knee in and out a few times. Starting those hip circles. And other direction. Notice how it's feeling on this side compared to the other side. And what's moving well or needs some help. Good. Place your foot down, take a little pause, and then pick your knee up. Hugging it up and in at whatever angle feels good for you. Cross your ankle over your knee. And again, massaging your foot, toes, heel. I think we could do a class just on this right here, just massaging this area. There's so much going on. And start to lean forward if you want a deeper stretch. Maybe bringing your chin down towards your chest, and also a bolster or pillow underneath you, underneath your chest and belly. Can be really nice for relaxing into it. Take 2 or 3 more slow, deep breaths. On an inhale, lift up through your belly, sitting up tall, and then place your leg down. Let's do a little tapping. Another option here is to pick up a leg and kind of drop it and get some of that stronger feedback through the soles of your feet. Whatever feels right for you. And then let's go up to the shoulders and neck area. One that we did this week that was new to me that I learned is imagining your nose drawing a pencil and starting out with a very tiny spiral. So you're going to just, in one direction, use your nose as if it is spiraling around and getting bigger and bigger. Of course, never to the point of pain or pinching, but and really slowing this down. So going slow with it. I know, especially at first, we want to go fast. And if it's okay for you and doesn't make you dizzy, looking in that direction as well. Or you could close your eyes and do this. And then when you get to the end of your spiral, then come back to center. We're going to reverse direction, going in the other direction. And just making that spiral bigger and bigger. Slowly though. If you get to a point where you're like, ooh, no, I went too far, then just come back to center. Or make your spiral smaller. And come back to center. Good. So let me know after class if you like that or not, or how that feels for you. I liked it when I was doing it on my own and I was really focused into it and going very slow. So you might experiment on your own sometime. And go ahead and look over one shoulder and slowly turn your head to look over the other shoulder. Bring your head back to center and tip your head to one side, so ear towards your shoulder. Make sure you're not tipping over, that your torso is still upright and your shoulders are relaxed. Look up out of the opposite corner of your eyes. So remember, this is just a gentle tipping of the head. Take some deep breaths. And as you're looking up toward the sky, imagine something interesting that you're looking at, like a baby bird in a nest, or the beautiful fall leaves fluttering in the wind, or snow falling down. And then slowly bring your head back up to center. Take a little floating motion side to side. And allowing your head now to come over to the other side. And I think we're about there for the same amount of time, so you can bring your head up to center. And again, rock side to side. Good. Feel that shifting of your weight into one hip and the other. Maybe bring your legs out a little farther. Bring one elbow out and then the other. And really see if you can feel that spine flowing back and forth, as if it's really flexible. Good. Bring it back to center and we'll do our shoulder shrugs. So last one for our neck and shoulders. Bringing your shoulders up, holding it for 3 seconds, and slowly lowering it down. Ooh, found a bumpy spot. And release tension all the way at the bottom. And then go ahead and lift them up again. Maybe even closing your eyes so you really notice what's going on inside. And then slowly smooth the motion out as you bring them down. Visualize your shoulders coming down smoothly as you do this. Release at the bottom, relax. And one more time, bringing those shoulders up, hugging them up. And slowly releasing. If you hit a bumpy spot, just bring your shoulders up an inch or two to redo that spot. Allowing your muscles to find their optimal resting length and repatterning the brain to body connection. Let's go into our warrior series, stepping one foot out to the side, either supported by a block with underneath your leg, or maybe your heel is grounded and flexing your foot. Inhale, reaching your arms out to the sides. Today, try either with straight arms or you might bend your arms, bringing your hands forward and taking a diving motion like we do for Robin's breath. And then just opening up wide again. Let's do that one more time. Diving forward, exhaling, rounding your back, chin to chest. And then opening up. We'll take one dancing warrior. Inhale, reaching up, look up. Exhale, warrior two. Bring that hand out to your straight leg for exalted warrior. Looking up. Beautiful. And then that hand comes down, forearm or hand to your thigh as you reach the other arm up and over for a side stretch. So see if you can really reach your hand past center, overhead, or maybe to rest on your head. So you're really opening up through one side of your body. You could also take those big arm circles. I'm not going to do that today because I've been doing a lot of arm circles this week. And my shoulders need to rest a little bit. And when you're finished, reaching up, coming back to warrior two. And float your hands down. Bring your leg back to center. Shift over as you step your other leg out. Again, maybe it's supported by a block underneath it, or extended out with your heel grounded. Reaching your arms out to the sides. Let's take that diving forward motion, bringing your hands forward, chin to chest. Inhale, opening up wide, diving forward, and open up wide. Big inhale to dancing warrior. Exhale, floating your arms out. Bring the back hand down to your straighter leg, reaching up for exalted or reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. And your other arm or hand comes to your thigh as you reach up for extended side angle. Hand could rest on your head, or you could take big, slow arm circles. Good. And finish reaching your arm up, both arms up, and warrior two. I just added that in. Float your hands down, bring your leg back in, and bring your legs out wide. We'll go into our 5-pointed star. So remember, you can do, you can keep your feet grounded, or you could maybe lift your heels up while we expand and extend our arms and our fingers wide, and then maybe lift those legs up. Leaning back into your chair, and then bringing it back into goddess pose or hands at heart center. And this time, let's warm up those hands. Take a little rubbing motion through those hands. And also think about your intention. This time when we go into 5-pointed star, let's say our intentions out loud at the same time, and just imagine all of those swirling around together. So big inhale, 5-pointed star. And mine is, I surrender to open-hearted presence. And bringing it back to center. Ooh, nice. Let's do that one more time. If your hands are cold, warm them up. If they're not, you don't have to do it, but it feels good. And one more time. So big star energy. You can say your intention again. And then turn your ankles and your wrists around. And bring it back down. Nice. And we tried 5-pointed or shooting star the other day, so we're going to make sure that the leg that you step into is really supporting you. as you shoot your arms out and maybe one leg. So shooting star to the side and then coming back to center, shooting star to the other side, back to center, shooting star, center, shooting star. Awesome. That's one of my favorite poses or series, both the 5-pointed star and the shooting star. So bring your hands to your knees. We'll take a forward fold. So if you'd like to bring in a pillow or a bolster underneath your belly to support you, that's one option. Another option is to bring 1 or 2 blocks in front of you where your hands could rest. And you could simply just bring your elbows to your knees and stay here, shifting your hips all the way back to the chair. Or maybe you slide your hands down your shins to your ankles or to a block, resting your hands on 1 or 2 blocks. And allowing your head, wherever you're at, to hang down, knowing that you can come up at any time and come back into it if you want to. Take 3 more deep breaths. And inhale as you start to rise, coming up slowly. You can set your blocks aside. Lifting up, taking a moment to let your blood pressure readjust. And let's find a little bit of movement through our arms and doing our leaning forward motion. So your feet are grounded. Make sure they're spread at least hip width distance apart into our airplane and then back to our bicep curls and really getting that moving back and forth. You can always really slow it down and hold one position and just kind of build a little bit more strength. But leaning, airplane to bicep curls. Good. And then let's do the same thing but with our elbows up. And as we lean forward, our arms go out. And then our fists come in with our elbows up. So same leaning, rocking motion, but the arms are just lifted with your elbows up. Three more. And last one. Good. Nice. So let's do this big reaching on one side where we reach up and then we reach down. And then we bring our arm to cactus, grab your seatbelt, cross it over. We're gonna go a little bit more smoothly. I don't wanna say fast, but just keep it moving. So reaching up and then reaching down. Come to cactus, grab your seatbelt, cross it over, click it in. One more time, reaching up, reaching down, cactus, grab your seatbelt, click it in. Good. Rest that hand and come over to the other side, reaching up, way high, and reaching down. Come to cactus, grab your seatbelt, click it in. Reach way up, all the way down. Cactus, grab your seatbelt, click it in. Last time, reaching way up and down. Cactus, grab it and click it or take it. Good, so shake your arms out. We're gonna come to standing, so make sure that there's nothing in your way as you come to standing. Make sure it's right for you to come to standing today. And if it is, join me. If not, please stay seated. So go ahead and start that rocking motion, bringing a little bit of weight into your feet at first, testing it out. And as it feels good, coming into your halfway lift, hands can be supported on your thighs, or hands at heart center, or reaching your arms forward. Feel both feet grounded, nice Scott, and pressing both feet into the earth. Toes are on the ground. Notice your big toes. Keep breathing. Notice your baby toes. And then reach back and have a seat. Shake your legs out. Take a deep breath. We're going to do that one more time. A longer hold like that. So again, rocking forward, finding your arm position. I'm going to reach my hands out this time. Balancing and breathing. Say your intention to yourself here. Good. And then we'll sit down one more time. Of course, if you're going to stay seated, please do so. Take any other movements through your legs, that would feel good. And last time, coming to halfway chair pose, and then finding your way to standing. Remember, your chair is always there for you if you want to go back to seated. And taking some rocking motions, finding your way to your chair or a table to hang on to. Bring my chair over here, and we'll take those step together, step together, step together. And one or both arms might kind of flow with you into that dancing step. And then let's do step, tap. One foot in front, step, tap. So back and forth, step, tap, step, tap. You can do this seated as well. Step, tap, step. Nice. And then we're going to do one more, which is step, lift a knee up, and then step, lift your other knee. Step, knee, step. You can even tap your knee as it comes up. Tap, and step, tap. And last one. Good. Nice. So this one, I want us to make sure we're really hanging on to something. It's coming up onto our toes. And there's so many times in life when a fall starts up on our toes, and we need to keep those toes nice and strong, and the ability to find a little bit, just even that one last little edge could be the difference between falling over or not. So let's keep practicing our balance, and you can come up on your toes and lower back down, or you can keep holding it. But really make sure you're supported as you're doing this. If you feel stable on your toes, if you feel like you could stay there for a few moments, maybe kind of just keep your hand to wherever your support is, so you can grab it at any time. But maybe you can find that moment of balance, and then bring your heels down to the ground. Take a breath. And then lifting just your toes off the ground. See if you can. Lift just your toes and feeling a bit of weight come into the heels. Because that's the other one where sometimes we fall back, and we want to keep awareness of where our heels are. And then place your toes down. Let's do that one more time. Lifting up onto your toes. You can always lift up and down, or stay up on your toes. Maybe lift a hand for a moment. And then coming onto your heels, pause, and just lift your toes. Again, feeling your heels. You don't even really need to lean back or anything, but just feeling, getting your brain to connect to your heels. Good. All right, so go ahead if you want to kind of shake your legs out, you can. And then we'll be I'm running a little bit behind, so if you want to take a forward fold on the way down to the ground, feel free. but I'll just cue us coming down to the ground safely and finding your way onto your back. And when you get there, feel free to take a movement like a long body stretch or a butterfly pose. So your feet together, knees open wide, or rocking your knees side to side. And in the chair, there's all these options as well. So nice long body stretch in the chair. Ooh, you can clasp your hands together. And a butterfly, sometimes in the chair it's nice to have one or two blocks supporting your feet in a butterfly pose. And on the ground, having the blocks maybe underneath your thighs, if that's what you prefer. And starting to find your way to our relaxation portion and stillness, allowing your body to settle and quiet, allowing your mind to settle and quiet. And knowing that this time is just for you, the healing, the rest, the calm, the peace. And you could imagine this time like ripples on a pond. And if you'd like to bring your awareness to a beautiful scene in the mountains where there's a lake and the beautiful mountains, maybe just the first sign of snow on the peaks. And there's this lake that either a fish just jumped and made ripples in the lake, or you threw a rock into the lake and it made ripples. And everything we just did was lots of movement, and it's all those ripples. And we're allowing those ripples to calm down, both in the body and the mind, and let them not just calm down, but like integrate throughout that beautiful lake. But as it becomes calm, smooth, even and quiet, it allows us to see ourselves more clearly. Just like you can see your reflection in a perfectly smooth pond or lake. Allow yourself to take those calming breaths, and for your exhale to help you relax even further, releasing tension from any parts of your body that are still holding on. And keep your breath flowing in and out of your heart center. Bring your breath awareness down to your feet. And just imagine that you're inhaling through the soles of your feet, up your legs, and exhaling down your legs through the soles of your feet. You're just drawing breath in from your feet and letting it go through your feet as well. Not only is breath coming up through your feet, but it's energy. And it's vital life, it's prana, it's life force coming up through your feet, into your legs, knees and hips, and down through your legs, out your feet. Notice any sensations in your feet or your legs. Notice the difference between your right leg and your left leg. Without judgment, just noticing and allowing. And then bring the same breath awareness to your hands, to your palms of your hands. And imagine that you're inhaling through the palms of your hands, up through your arms to your shoulders, and then down again, exhaling through the palms of your hands. Inhaling through the palms of your hands up to your shoulders, exhaling down through your hands. Gently breathing in and out through your hands. Noticing any sensations like the pulse of your heartbeat, or tingling, numbness, heat, a sense of cold. Whatever it is, again, letting it be. And comparing your right arm to your left arm. Again, without judgment. And then bring your breath awareness to your head, to your brain. And imagine breathing in and out of your brain, all of the cells and neurons in your brain, infusing them with the same vital energy, oxygen, and energy that's just pinging throughout our brains. As you exhale, imagine your brain just releasing, kind of softening, surrendering, and slowly bringing your awareness back to the present moment, taking time to wake yourself up through gentle movements or rocking your head side to side. You could take a long body stretch, or bend your knees and come over to one side in a supported position. Feel free to stay here longer or sit up and we'll close out together. You can bring your hands to your heart, and we're in prayer pose. In a moment to honor the love, light, and teacher in each one of you. We say namaste. Thank you for joining. Yippee!